Hi guys, if you're new here, consider follow me because my goal is to provide you all the most delicious thinking for the upcoming judiciary exam and enhance your intellect to escape velocity. So let's get started with my brief introduction. That my name is Harsh and I have completed my UG, BLLB from National Law University Shimla, and completed my masters, LLM from National Law University Tiruchirappalli. So today we will be discussing about the Article 14, that is actually one of the important topic for the judiciary purpose, CLAT exam, or you can say even for the UPSC. So let's directly jump into the topic. So this Article 14 basically talks about some important points that we will be discussing, and it basically includes rule of law, equal protection of law and equality before law. And we will be also discussing about some of the important landmark judgments that basically help the Article 14 or right to equality for India to give a proper shape for the society. Okay. So this basically rule of law is basically first defined in the book of A.V. Dicey, that is the Constitution of England. In his book, he basically defined this rule of law in a very beautiful way. He says that if anybody commits any crime, for example you, I, any policeman or any bureaucrat commits any kind of crime, the law will create the responsibility in an equal way for any illegal activity or any unjustified activity in the eyes of law. Now, in simple words, I can say if a government is there and there are people, so if anybody commits any kind of crime, the law will bind on everyone equally. There has to be the supremacy of law. The law is superior. Now you guys might be wondering that where you can actually see this concept, the rule of law, in the Indian Constitution. So firstly, you can see this concept in the preamble of Indian Constitution, which basically says the status and the opportunity of the citizen. And secondly, you can actually notice this concept in Article 14 of Indian Constitution. Now let's discuss about Article 14 Clause 1 in an elaborative way. So as we have already discussed that this Article 14 Clause 1 is equality before law. That is basically the negative approach. Now this approach basically is the English law concept, and it talks about the rule of law basically. So what we have discussed about rule of law, that it treats everyone equally in a similar way, no matter what position he holds, no matter what power he holds. For example, if I, you, or any businessman, any policeman or any bureaucrat commits any kind of crime, he will be treated equally. The law will impose the penalty or the responsibility equally on everyone. I would like to give you an example, a classic example of the blindfolded lady. You might have noticed in the movie or in the courtroom that a blindfolded lady is in the courtroom with the beam balanced like this, and this basically demonstrates that everyone is equal before the eyes of law and the law is supreme. Okay, let's talk about the Article 14 Clause 2, which is basically the American concept, and it basically says that the law should not be applied to everyone equally. It's not necessary. I would like to give you an example. In a house there are two children, one is of 5 years, another is of 10 years, and we have asked to treat them equally. Now this equal treatment includes proper health care, proper education, proper diet, other miscellaneous expenses, etc, etc. Well, this doesn't mean that the expenditure of the age of 5-year child is actually equal to the expenses of the age of 10-year child. Even their diet plan, their education, everything is different. So their situations are different, hence their treatment has to be different. There has to be reasonableness. This is basically the equal protection of law, that the differentiation has to be based on the reasonableness. There has to be the class. This is basically the equal protection of law, that is Article 14 Clause 2. So now let's quickly summarize the difference between equality before law and equal protection of law. So this equality before law is actually the negative approach, and it is described under Article 14 Clause 1 of Indian Constitution, and it talks about the law in a very general way, in a very generic way, that everyone is equal before the eyes of law, like that. And in equal protection of law, that is basically described under Article 14 Clause 2 of Indian Constitution, and it follows the positive approach, and it is very specific, that we will be discussing in the upcoming part of the video. Okay, let's take an example. If we are making any special laws on women protection or women safety or for the public welfare. So whether those laws will lead to the violation of fundamental right or the violation of right to equality? No, that's what Article 14 subclause 2 says, that if there is proper classification or the proper subset, whether on the base of caste, creed, religion, sex, anything, there has to be proper classification with the reasonableness, then it's not the violation of Article 14. It's actually the equal treatment. It's actually the fair treatment. Okay, so now it's clear that we need classification for the better protection of the fundamental rights, for the better protection of the society and the subsets or the groups. Now, to save this classification from the undue advantage, we basically developed a test from the case of FN Balsara versus State of Bombay. Now, this test basically specifies two conditions. First one is the intelligible differentia and the second is rational nexus. Okay, let's understand both these conditions, intelligible differentia and rational nexus, in a very simple way with a very simple example. Just imagine that the school actually plans to take a maths test for the students of class 5 till the students of class 12. What they did, they simply distributed the same question paper to all the students. Now what will happen? Definitely the students of class 12 will get more marks. Why? Because they are not making the proper group. Why? Because they are not making the proper groups or the proper classification or the reasonable classification of the students. So definitely they won't be able to achieve the good marks or the good result. Now this good result or the desired end is actually the rational nexus. So how we can improve the situation? We can make the proper classification, reasonable classification, proper question paper for proper group for the proper result. Now this classification is intelligible differentia and this proper or the good result is actually the rational nexus. Whatever we have discussed till now is basically the old doctrine till 1970, and the Supreme Court found this doctrine little negative or restrictive in nature. Why? Because Supreme Court argued that this concept of equality and the public welfare is actually dynamic and changes with the time and needs of the society. So therefore in 1974 the case of E.P. Roypa versus State of Tamil Nadu came, and it basically helps the Indian constitution to adopt the new doctrine. Well, now the concept of new doctrine is actually dynamic and activist in nature, and it also expanded the scope of equality before law. As earlier, equality before law only includes rule of law, but now it also includes natural justice in that. And the same view was adopted in the case of Maneka Gandhi versus Union of India, that there should be no arbitrariness in the state's action to ensure equality and fairness. The court simply said that if any action which is arbitrary, that will be against the fundamental right or the right to equality. So let's quickly summarize that we got the two-factor test from FN Balsara case versus State of Bombay, and if we'll add reasonableness and strike down the arbitrariness, then we'll get the new doctrine. So it's very simple, and with this only from the article 14, 19 and 21 we will be having the golden triangle case that we will be doing in the next video. So stay tuned, stay connected. If you guys have any query, please comment it down. I'll get back to you and see you in the next video.